There are 8 daily routines that the majority of people over the age of 100 adhere to in order to live a longer and healthier life. Did you ever wonder what folks who are above the age of 100 do on a daily basis to maintain their health? Researchers have found astonishing habits that are shared by men and women who have silently defied the aging process. These habits, found in small towns scattered across Japan, have been uncovered by researchers. It is not the use of wonder medications or strict diets that they are relying on. Instead, it is the basic decisions that we make on a daily basis that construct a lifetime of energy. In this video, we will delve into 8 activities that are followed by the residents of Japan's famous longevity villages. These practices are based on true studies of people who have gracefully and resolutely passed the century mark. Continue to pay attention to the very end because you will find out how these silent behaviors came to be embraced. If you conduct your life with thoughtfulness, you may not only be able to live longer, but you may also enjoy a fuller life with more energy, greater happiness, and a renewed sense of purpose each and every day. Now, let's get something going. Naturally occurring daily movement comes in first. One of the most impressive routines that people over the age of 100 in Japan's longevity villages have in common is the nearly effortless method in which they maintain an active lifestyle throughout the day. This does not necessarily mean that they have gym memberships or that they adhere to rigorous exercise programs. Instead, they incorporate movement into their daily routines by doing things like tending to their gardens, strolling to visit their neighbors, sweeping their porches, and preparing their meals by hand, among other things. They maintain their body's strength and flexibility through this kind of modest and consistent physical activity, because it does not include the strain or tiredness that is typically associated with standard exercise programs. First and foremost, it ensures that their hearts remain strong, that their joints remain flexible, and that their energy levels remain amazingly high well into their senior years. From a psychological point of view, doing natural movement helps to reinforce a sense of autonomy and energy. In place of the sensation that physical activity is only another item on a list to be completed, it transforms into a delightful and integral component of daily life. A calm and consistent rhythm that promotes health without requiring anything remarkable is all that is required. There is no pressure, and there is no performance. Take, for example, Tom, an Okinawa native who is 84 years old and still wanders through his modest vegetable garden multiple times a day, paying close attention to each individual plant. When he moves, he does not appear hurried or forced. Simply put, they are an integral component of his existence, a natural extension of his routine that serves to maintain his connection to the ground as well as his own personal power. In contrast to the current trend of focusing on high-intensity workouts or predetermined fitness objectives, these folks who have lived for a very long time demonstrate that it is possible that basic, consistent activity may provide a significantly more durable path to physical well-being. In order to achieve a lifetime of vitality, it is necessary to take each step with a purpose and to do each duty with care. Instead of considering exercise as something that ought to be carved out of your schedule, you should think about methods to include it into your day in a natural way. Some examples of these little tasks that nourish the body and mind without causing strain include going for short walks after meals, stretching gently while watching television, doing some light gardening, or performing duties around the house with intention. It has nothing to do with performing marathons. Moving around frequently, moving in a natural way, and allowing motion to become as normal to your day as breathing is the key to success. The practice of eating until one feels approximately 80% full, rather than stuffed, is known as harahachi-bu, and it is another firmly entrenched habit among the people who are above the age of 100 who live in Japan's longevity villages. Over the course of a lifetime, a seemingly insignificant yet thoughtful practice can have a significant impact. Instead of racing through meals or stacking their plates high, they eat deliberately, relishing each mouthful and paying great attention to their bodies, which are quiet indications that they are full. This kind of restraint helps avoid overeating, preserves their digestive health, and prevents them from gaining weight that isn't essential without ever making them feel like they are on a strict diet or being deprived of something. It has been known for a long time by psychologists that it takes approximately 20 minutes for the brain to detect that it is full. The loop of mindless overeating that can lead to chronic health problems can be avoided by eating slowly and stopping short of the point at which one is completely full. This allows the body to convey its genuine needs and prevents the cycle from occurring. A straightforward yet significant method to demonstrate respect for the body's innate knowledge is to do so. Let's take a look at Helen, a 79-year-old woman from a tiny village in Japan who follows this guideline without even giving it a second thought throughout her entire life. She prepares meals that are unpretentious, colorful, and brimming with gratitude. After eating until she is satisfied but not overstuffed, she leaves the table feeling motivated rather than sluggish. She eats until she is comfortable. Doing so is not about keeping track of calories, rather, it is about respecting equilibrium and becoming in tune with the natural cycles of the body. It's possible that those of us who are more accustomed to eating until we are entirely full or finishing every plate will find this transition to be rather noticeable at first. Engaging in Harahachi Bu, on the other hand, has the potential to shift your connection with food into one that is more nourishing, kind, and profoundly rewarding. The decision to stop eating when you feel almost full is not an act of self-control, rather, it is an act of allowing your body the space it needs to flourish. A daily act of kindness to yourself, one that pays off not only in how you feel after a meal, but also in how your body sustains you over the years, is something that you should strive to do every day. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. In third place, ensuring that strong social relationships are maintained. The strong everyday connection that people in Japan's villages have with one another is a remarkable common thread among those who have lived past the age of 100 for Japan's longevity. They are not engaged in lives of seclusion and loneliness. In its place, they incorporate a network of social interactions that are both helpful and rich into their daily lives. It is not considered a luxury to maintain social connections, whether they are achieved through community visits, get-togethers with family and friends, or even just a casual conversation over a cup of tea, a necessity that is just as important to their health as eating well or getting enough exercise. These relationships provide not only physical but also emotional and practical assistance, as well as the opportunity to laugh together and a sense of belonging that nurtures the spirit in addition to the body. According to a number of studies, loneliness can be just as detrimental to one's health as smoking or being overweight. Friendships and familial relationships operate as a tremendous protective force that goes far beyond simple companionship in these longevity communities. While strong social ties protect against sadness, cognitive decline, and even physical ailments, these villages also have social links that guard against physical disorders. Consider the case of George, an elderly man from a coastal community who, on a daily basis, goes to visit his neighbors in the afternoon. It doesn't matter if it's assisting someone in repairing a gate, exchanging veggies from the garden, or simply sitting together to watch the sunset. These small everyday interactions create a strong safety net of care and purpose around his existence. It is not necessary to throw large parties or make a large number of phone calls in order to keep good connections. Simply reaching out to a neighbor, becoming a member of a local group, going to a monthly get-together, or making it a point to check in with family on a regular basis are all examples of simple ways to accomplish this. The value of connections increases, not decreases, after the age of 60. There is more to it than just being social when you invest your time and energy into someone. Building a web of life that supports you, keeps you moving forward, and makes each day more meaningful and richer is the goal of this endeavor. The fact of the matter is that human connection is one of the most effective medications there is, and in the Japanese villages that are known for their longevity, it is recommended freely and frequently. Fourth, consuming a diet that is mostly composed of plant-based foods. Among the discoveries that have been most consistent in Japan's longevity villages is the straightforward and effective method by which people nourish themselves, which is through a diet that is predominantly composed of plant-based foods. The meals are constructed around vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and sea vegetables. Fish is consumed in tiny portions, and meat is conserved for rare occasions rather than being consumed on a daily basis. Their plates are vibrant, full of a wide variety of meals, and focusing on foods that are not only high in nutrients but also easy on the body. Instead of serving heavy, manufactured cuisine, they serve meals that are light, colorful, and profoundly delicious without being overpowering or overbearing. There is widespread consensus among nutrition experts all over the world that diets that are abundant in plant-based foods are beneficial to the health of the heart, reduce inflammation, enhance digestion, and reduce the chance of developing chronic diseases such as diabetes and cancer. However, in the longevity villages, this cuisine is not considered to be trendy. It is simply the way that things have been done throughout history. Consider Dorothy, an elderly woman who lives in a tiny mountain town and grows a significant percentage of her own food. She takes pleasure in eating meals that consist of sweet potatoes, leafy greens, tofu, miso soup, and small servings of freshly caught fish. Dorothy is 80 years old. A natural pattern of consuming what the earth offers in a way that feels both nutritious and sustainable is all that is required. There are no severe rules or compulsive limits. There is no need to give up everything you enjoy in order to make the transition to a diet that is more plant-based. Simply said, it means making room for vegetables, fruits, and whole meals to take the spotlight, while relegating heavier, more fatty foods to the role of occasional accents rather than regular staples. This eating pattern is beneficial for more than just one's physical health. It encourages a more profound connection to the changing of the seasons, to the land, and to the uncomplicated pleasure of eating meals that are not only good but also beneficial to one's life. Additionally, it serves as a daily reminder that magical foods are not the source of everlasting life. When it comes to fad diets, the foundation is in the decision to nourish your body with what actually maintains it in a quiet and steady manner. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Having a strong sense of purpose is the fifth essential quality. The people who live in Japan's longevity villages have one thing in common. They all have a distinct and everlasting sense of purpose. This is the invisible thread that binds them all together. The moment they open their eyes in the morning, they are aware that there is a purpose for their existence, a person for whom they are destined to care, and a reason why their life is still significant in the world. It is referred to as ikigai, which is a profound sense of meaning that serves as the driving force behind daily existence. It does not have to be something that is very important or remarkable. For some people, it's taking care of a mini garden. Some people find fulfillment in engaging in activities such as teaching traditional crafts to future generations, preparing meals for their families, or just attending a community gathering or event. Researchers in the field of psychology have discovered that having a strong purpose is not only associated with lower rates of depression but also with improved resistance against sickness and even a reduction in mortality. Despite the fact that life will inevitably provide difficulties, it serves as a source of emotional stability, something that helps to keep the heart steady. Imagine a man named Frank, who is 77 years old and lives in a seaside village. He holds the belief that it is his mission to maintain a public flower garden that is located outside of the local temple. He tends to it with affection, regardless of the weather, because he is aware that his seemingly insignificant action offers beauty and delight to everyone who walks by. The feeling of belonging and the ability to make a difference in the world infuses each and every day of his life with vitality. There is no need to make the process of discovering or rekindling your sense of purpose difficult. Helping a neighbor, writing letters to old acquaintances, learning a new skill, or simply making the decision to welcome each day with compassion are all examples of things that might be considered to be little acts of kindness. After the age of 60, when many of life's significant landmarks have passed, our sense of purpose does not vanish, rather, it evolves. As a result, it becomes more profound, more personal, and richer. To cultivate it is not the same as to keep oneself occupied. It is about maintaining a connection to the reasons that your heart continues to beat with hope and significance each and every day. Spending time outside is the sixth recommendation. Spending time outside is one of the most easy daily routines that people in Japan's longevity villages do. Yet it is actually one of the most ignored routines. Whether it's strolling through a rice field, sitting on a veranda, picking vegetables, or simply taking in the fresh air of the morning, there are many ways to spend time. Being outside is not something that is reserved for the weekends or for special events, rather, it is a part of everyday life. As a result of this regular connection to nature, more than just fresh air is provided. This substance has the ability to regulate circadian cycles, increase mood, lower blood pressure, and alleviate mental tiredness. There is a correlation between exposure to sunlight and the generation of vitamin D, which is beneficial to bone health, immune function, and emotional well-being. This is especially significant as we get older. There is also something more profound at play here. Our role in the planet, the cycles and seasons, and the beauty that requires nothing from us but our presence are all things that we are reminded of when we are in nature. A slower breathing rate, calm thought, and a sense of peace that cannot be found in artificial light or on a screen are all aspects that are encouraged by this practice. A woman named Shirley, who is 80 years old and lives in a mountain village, walks down a narrow forest trail close to her house at the beginning and end of each day, just like she does every day. Not only does she not walk very far or very quickly, but she walks with purpose. She observes the seasonal changes in the foliage, listens to the sound of the birds, and greets neighbors who are tending to their gardens. Performing this peaceful ritual is not about working out. Getting her feet firmly planted in the rhythm of the natural world is the goal here. It is not necessary to make a significant adjustment in order to include nature back into our daily routines, especially for those of us who spend a significant amount of time inside. Taking a brief walk after lunch, sitting on a balcony or porch with a cup of tea, tending to a few plants, or even just standing barefoot in the grass for a few seconds can all help to quiet the nervous system and boost the soul. In spite of the fact that they are not always planned, they are the kinds of moments that give the impression that life is more vibrant. Also, among the communities in Japan that have the longest lifespans, they are considered to be necessary rather than optional. There are times when the way to longevity does not go via a gym or a pharmacy, rather, it runs through the garden gate. They demonstrate this through their actions. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Participating in everyday stress-relieving rituals is the 7th recommendation. This commitment to daily practices that relax the mind and ease the nervous system is one of the most quietly effective behaviors that has been seen among centenarians in Japan's villages, which are known for their longevity. Different people have different rituals that they perform. There are many who engage in morning prayer, others who take pleasure in tea rituals, others who meditate, and countless more who find solace in lighting incense or taking deep, deliberate breaths. A purposeful halt, a moment of silence, and a return to the heart of a person's being are all things that they all have in common. These routines are preventative in nature, in contrast to stress management approaches that only become effective during really stressful situations. It is not that they wait for the tension to grow up, rather, they eliminate it before it has a chance to take hold. Reducing cortisol levels, protecting emotional health, supporting heart function, and increasing resilience in the face of life's inevitable obstacles are all some of the benefits that come from practicing this daily discipline. One can gain a great deal of insight by making the decision to slow down, particularly in a world that is always encouraging us to move at a faster pace. Not only does practicing mindfulness make you feel more at ease, but it also has the potential to heal you spiritually. It sends a message to your body that you are protected and supported. You can take a break here. Walter, an 85-year-old man who lives in a sleepy fishing town, starts each day by lighting a candle and sitting quietly with his thoughts for 10 minutes before he speaks to anyone. He does this before he interacts with anyone else. The act is neither spectacular or ostentatious, rather, it is reverent. His daily routine consists of him gathering himself, establishing a sense of grounding for his energy, and beginning the day on his own terms. Because of this one simple practice, he has been able to deal with loss, transition, and even illness with greater composure and clarity than many others who are half his age. It is never too late to begin incorporating a simple routine such as this into your daily routine. Even if you have not already done so, it might be anything that helps you give yourself permission to halt and be present, such as 5 minutes of stillness, slow breathing, journaling, sipping tea while watching the trees sway, or anything else. The techniques in question do not call for any specialized equipment or extensive understanding. Only intention is required to use them, and the lives of those who have lived the longest demonstrate, again and time again, that serenity is not something that can be discovered, rather, it is something that can be created by taking one moment of silence at a time. The 8th point is to establish and stick to regular patterns of sleep and wakefulness. People who live in Japan's longevity villages have a commitment to maintaining constant sleep and waking habits, which is another habit that is quietly powerful and prevalent among those who live past the age of 100. Instead of attempting to battle against the natural rhythms of the day, they follow them by rising with the sun and winding down as night falls. By maintaining this regularity, they are able to stabilize their circadian rhythms, which are their internal body clocks. These rhythms play an important role in the regulation of their metabolism, hormone levels, immunological function, and emotional equilibrium. It is not always about sleeping for longer periods of time, rather, it is about sleeping more attentively, providing the body and brain with the profound restorative sleep they require in order to recover, repair, and revitalize. The irregular sleep habits that these villagers have been practicing for a very long time have finally been confirmed by modern research. We may not understand how much of a negative impact staying up late one night and sleeping in the next can have on our health. It might increase the likelihood of developing cardiovascular disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even reduce our lifespan. Consider Ruth, an elderly woman who lives in a rural village and is 81 years old. She still gets up before the dawn to tend to her small herb garden, and she goes to bed around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. On a nightly basis, it is obvious to her body that she does not require an alarm clock. Through this consistent rhythm, she maintains a steady energy level, a sharp mind, and a spirit that is rooted in the straightforward cycle of the natural world that can sustain it. It is not necessary to force yourself to go to bed at the same time every night in order to have a consistent sleep and wake cycle. Establishing gentle habits that send a message to your body about when it is time to rest and when it is time to wake up is the key to success. A calm wind-down ritual, gentle lighting in the evenings, and avoiding heavy meals late at night are all examples of minor choices that can add up to a significant impact. They get the body ready for rest, make it easier for you to fall asleep, and make it possible for you to wake up with reduced difficulty and more lucidity. The Japanese towns that are known for their longevity do not consider sleep to be a luxury or something that should be squeezed in, because it is one of the most crucial pillars of health and vigor throughout one's entire life. It is treated with the modest respect that it simply deserves. Lastly, some thoughts. As the video for today comes to a close, I would like you to take a moment to think about the 8 important daily habits that we have discussed. Among these straightforward routines, which one resonates with you the most? To what extent does it seem like something that you could start incorporating into your own life? Commencing right now, please leave a comment below describing one thing you discovered and how you intend to put it to use in order to live a life that is longer, more fulfilling, and more full of vitality. We would be delighted to hear from you. It is important to keep in mind that longevity is not dependent on great gestures or unattainable routines. The foundation that is built is one that is sturdy enough to last for more than 100 years. This foundation is built via the quiet everyday decisions, the natural movement, the little meals, the connections, and the moments of tranquility. It is never too late to take a baby step toward a life that feels lighter, brighter, and more alive. This is true regardless of where you are on your path. That is the kind of life that you deserve. All the time. You have. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.